go to YouTube and grab the link. We may have waited too long. I have to reset it here.
Just the link that's at the very.
Just gather value.
Real estate developers in New York City, they're not buying the real estate because they want to live in it.
But like most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit.
People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. We call them poor. Okay. Right. Like the point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever more. Forever.
Right. I mean, right. But I mean, we can all look Bitcoin sort of as
forever more. People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. We call them poor. Okay. Right. Like the point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever more. Forever.
Right. I mean, right. But I mean, we can all look Bitcoin sort of as
forever more. People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. 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 Okay.
Okay. Yes, man. What is going on? What is going on? Give me just a second here. Take that down. What is going on? Hey, guys, my name is Gerald Peters. Welcome to, man, I never know what to call it anymore. The Peters Report, the Money Flow. We're live here on YouTube and Instagram. And I'm here with my cohort. Is that the right word? Cohort?
I think so.
Man, I don't even know where that word came from.
Hey, I like it.
Yeah. And we're here to talk to you about Bitcoin.
Yes, sir.
Ethan, how long have you been in the MFG now?
Oh, shoot. Since I guess it was early December of last year. Man. So I guess you could call it 6 months, which doesn't sound like very long. It's flown by.
Yeah, we just round that to a year.
Yeah, we can. You might as well.
Yeah. So one of the things, not having a large staff, as in none, for the most part, when I go live, and I'm going to show you some of this. So sometimes people won't get alerted, or for whatever reason, it won't tell them. So it helps to spread the word. So did you post it in Discord?
Yeah.
So I'll tweet it. We don't call it tweeting anymore, do we?
I mean, I still I still call it Twitter. So, I mean, for me,
Right.
it would be a tweet.
It'd be a tweet. So then I go to my story on Instagram and I say live on YouTube, right?
Yep.
And Instagram. So then what that does, business side here tries to get them to different platforms. Maybe they don't follow you on YouTube. Let me pull this up, man. We were just looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is on the move. You said you were getting some, so it's May 12th. We're at 100,000, 104,000. What is it? 340, 74.
374. Yep.
Man, we are pushing right up to these all-time highs. What is the official all-time high? Let me see. This has 109,340.
Yeah, I think every platform or chart that you look at is a little bit different, but they're all
Slightly
right
different.
around there.
Right. That's a little confusing,
Which
Yeah,
is frustrating because especially with all the different brokerages, and it's never a big difference, but why can we not have one consistent price across the board across all the platforms?
And it is, it does immediately adjust yourself because there is only one blockchain.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, I guess you can get arbitrages. And that's what the guy at FTX figured out, right? That's how he made his early money.
Yeah.
They called it the kimchi trade. And he's a guy like us sitting at home and figures out, hey, man, if I buy it on this platform, send it to my fucking wallet over here at this platform, and then sell it, I make on the currency swap. I'm probably not explaining it right, but that's basically what he did. You think, well, it's 10,000. No. He went out and got fucking millions. And they start doing this with tens of millions to the point where, he makes like $100 million.
Holy shit.
Yeah. In like 8 months or some shit.
Wow, he did it that quick.
Yeah. And that's where so right there, thinking about it, he could have retired and just fucking called it. Instead, he's in federal prison for 30 years.
Like a dumbass.
Crazy, man. So you were saying time, there's a thing in trading called time continuity.
Yes, sir.
It's usually across 3 time spans. So we're on the daily here. I'm going to drop down to the 30-minute Bitcoin chart. Man, that's almost just like a channel, huh?
Yeah, I was going to say that's on the 30-minute, the 1 hour, and all the smaller time frames. Yeah. I don't think it gets any more clearer than that.
Let's look at this. So we're on a 30-minute chart here. Let me pull it up. Stop moving around. So basically, it's been this 104 price a couple times here.
Yeah.
That was on the 11th yesterday, and then 2 days ago?
Yeah.
So we're kind of in this big channel. We could take this down to the either take it down or add a secondary. I don't know how you do your lines, and I always say it's more art than science.
Oh, for sure.
And I think prices move, and then they stop, and they tend to consolidate. Then they either move down a tiny bit, stop, and that's how you get those. That's what we've seen on gold.
Oh, yeah.
That tends. You see that here where it starts to go down, stops, goes up, stops, starts to go down, stops, goes up, stops. So it's caught in this little channel.
Yeah, I was interested to see what happened on later on tonight because I feel like every time I wake up at 5 in the morning, it's already started its run. I don't know what it is about the middle of the night that makes, So I'm interested to see if we wake up and, we've either broken up or we've broken down.
Shit, I know what that is. It's fucking Chinese. The
they love the Bitcoin.
We forget this, man. I love Bitcoin Cash. I think I really had this thesis. I could be completely wrong, but I have a lot of it. And it does tend to follow Bitcoin. So I think if you believe in Bitcoin, you'll be okay. But for whatever reason, in certain countries, they love that shit. In South Korea, they love Bitcoin Cash. But I think at some point, there's going to be a lot of people go, well, Bitcoin's like a, 300 grand. This here is 1,000.
Yeah.
Gold to silver. It's kind of the same thing. What they call silver, the poor man's gold.
For sure.
That's, I might be wrong. Also, I don't know the reason. If you exchange Bitcoin Cash, say Cash App to Cash App, you know what your fee is?
Zero.
Zero.
So
you
if
can
you send me
transfer money, zero cost.
So if you send me Bitcoin, there's no fee.
No fee, man.
Nice.
Like,
that's awesome.
Man, I wish so-and-so was on here. I would send them, I keep, if you got people close to you or people you might exchange money with, like me and my buddy Anthony or Jess or people I might exchange money with, if I try to get them to get Coinbase accounts, I kind of insist on it. And then once they have that, we can orange peel them. Now they can buy Bitcoin, use Bitcoin. But I tell them, think about, why would anyone use Western Union? If you can get your family to get this app, you have this app, it's free.
Do people still use Western Union?
Dude, they stand in line. I go in New Orleans and I'm in this convenience store and I go, what the fuck are they waiting for? And they're talking about either A, to cash their check or to send money.
Jesus.
I'm like, send money. Hey, bro, man, give me $5. I'm going to show you how to do this for free forever.
Yeah, there is a better way.
Yeah, and I was sitting there watching it. I was looking at all these people and I go, how can I talk to these people and not sound crazy, but also not get kicked out of this store? Like, they lose so much personal power, freedom, and time by being held to that monetary system right there, where they're waiting in line at a fucking store.
Right.
There's
For
no
God
need.
knows how long.
Yeah, I was in there and I was like, what the fuck are we doing? And the person I was with was like, oh, he was paying an electrical bill or something, And I was like, bro, we can't do it like this. We gotta elevate you a little bit.
Absolutely.
But that's what this is, human freedom, man. Not to get sidetracked. All right, so we're making our push right here. So let's drop this time down. What time? I like the 5 minute, but you talk about the 15 a lot.
Yeah, I like the one for Bitcoin, especially the 1 hour, the 30 minute, the 15 minute, and then the 5's probably as low as I would go. The 1 minute can be a little wild.
All right, so on the 30 minute, we saw a channel, right?
Yep.
All right, so now I'm on the 15. So basically going to get double. And it just takes you deeper in time. It's fractal in nature. That's the crazy thing about time. It's kind of a made up concept. Like, there is no eternal clock. There is no one thing that we all point to as this is the keeper of time. We look for patterns in nature, and that's kind of how they created time, right?
Right.
Around the moon, the sun, whatever. Calendars, harvest fees. Bitcoin is like, it's eternal. It's just 24 hours a day. This fucker is just, the blockchain is just going. And it's crazy, right? You can break it down, dude. So here we are on a 30-minute chart. So on Christmas, this thing is turning. There's no people there. There's no office. It's amazing.
It's just doing its thing.
Yeah, people.
It almost doesn't make sense.
It's made up. It's code. Yeah. And you try to explain this to someone. It's just a ledger. It's just a human accounting system. You can take your energy. You go out and you work and you get paid based on time, your talent, and what you can deliver.
Yeah.
You can take that. They give you that in units and dollars, and you can store it into some shit that goes up. So look at, not to get sidetracked, but where's where's that picture I sent? Did I lose that?
Oh yeah,
All right.
Yeah, this one.
So awesome. You see it says Bitcoin Cash, $149, right?
Mm-hmm.
But 37 of that is profit. So 33%. There's no CD, there's no bank account that does that, except holding your money in assets,
Of
And
course.
that could be CLM, like we do with the second income stream.
Mhm.
That could be Bitcoin here. But because of the fractal nature of these things, because they're made up, man, we can trade them too, which is us playing with time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how
And
much time did it take to make 33%? It's only been like a month, dude. What were you telling me? How much is Bitcoin up in the last month?
since the money flow flashed its buy signal, like 24, 25%, I think. I think it
24,
was closer to 25%.
right.
And
So our buy signal, I'm taking it was a stage 1.
correct.
I'm back on a daily
And
chart
then
here.
you could have even, me as well, I was going to say, you could have even gotten in when it broke to 20 and held through there for the, April, what is that, 14th.
So you have a swing trade going right now.
Yeah.
What's your average buy-in price here? Like 82?
I think it's closer to like 85. I mean, but when I was originally getting in, yeah, it was right down in there, like the break of that trend
Right
line
here.
right in there.
I put a video out on YouTube about trend lines or
Yeah.
those descending channels.
Mhm.
Uh,
And that's like in that breakdown that chart breakdown I sent you, not to, I just think it's once you can identify them quickly, you'll never not be able to see them, and especially on a, like, I don't know, I just felt more comfortable, whenever we broke above that descending trend line, built the stage 1 box, and then continued up.
what he's talking about here is you can see this slope. You know what? I'm going to take it. I'm going to clear this, but I won't save it.
I mean, because, and I could obviously be wrong, GP, but I figured, or I considered that more of like that stage 1 box. I considered everything below that to just be the anchor point.
That's what he's talking about here. And this is on the daily chart.
Yep.
And as price comes down, each one of these bars is a day. Man, we've had some big fucking days, huh?
Yeah, there's been quite a few big ones in both directions.
So as we look at this, I literally I did a video the other day on IBM. And each one of these here, it starts to try to do a breakout.
Yeah.
That's what creates that descending triangle. And this is what kills traders, because you try to catch the breakout. And if you don't catch it fast and your price point's higher, when it pulls back, depending on where your stop is, you're taking big losses each time,
Right.
Or you're literally adding on the high and then watching it come down, adding on the high, watching it come down, adding on the high, watching it come down. When you're day trading, that'll fuck you up, man. You're like, what in the, it seems like every time I do something, it does the opposite. And that's usually because you're caught in this descending triangle. Or
and if you look just below that, I was going to say you have that lower band, if you want to call it that. But even if you look above, like just below that, descending trend line, you also have it reject, or it, close below the 20. Like the moving averages are sloped down every step of the way as well. So
right, and we're trying to observe that. And simple ways I used to say it is like, if it's on this side of the green line, it's in a downtrend,
Yeah.
Just at glance. So if I look at something just at glance. Now, we're on a daily. What people understand is, if you're trading this, as I look at this chart, what may look kind of like a disaster on the daily. So the faster you can pick up on, hey, I think we're in a sloping down channel, is going to help you in trading.
Absolutely.
Which tells me I got to get if I was very short-term trading this, I can see where some of this could be a problem. You very quickly got to get in as it breaks above the 5-day, or it would be the 5-day exponential moving average.
Yeah. Well,
and if I'm trading it, I don't want to write it down too much.
No.
you know,
Well,
so
and not to play devil's advocate too much, but if you look, I mean, that setup looked good,
yeah, that one looked good. I thought the last one was solid.
you know, but obviously when it breaks and closes so aggressively below the 20, yeah, just
Well, and as this channel builds out 1, 2, 3, 4, you can see where we're suspect, right?
yeah,
I mean, you should be suspect.
absolutely.
And this just comes from looking at it a lot and, you know, just fucking with it, man. Just constantly looking at charts. And that's what I think one thing day trading can do for people is it can bring that, it can speed that process up, even if you're just doing it for fun. But let's take that time down.
Yeah,
I'm
day
not-
trading's helped my like overall swing trading quite a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, when Jess was working with me, I had her day trading fucking every day, man, for like a year.
Uh,
Paper trading though,
yeah, for sure.
sometimes the whole day.
She
Now, tell
hated
me, yeah, you know, you start to hate it because you'll do terrible, and it's like no one cares. Keep trading.
right, right.
Enter, put your target, set your stop. Let's trade. You know, and then you catch some wins, and then you start to like look. I'm looking for this fucking channel. Come on, give me 2 points. Yeah, that's a channel. I know what's up here. And I might move in and out faster, but that's a different. That's a faster way of trading, right?
Yeah.
And I trade NVIDIA like that. This is a 1 minute chart right here. So if you just came up to this, now this could be a daily chart. This looks like the shit I used to buy when I was younger in books and stuff. When I look at this right here, it's a 1 minute chart of Bitcoin. So it's real time. I see a box here. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you saw that in your eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right in here, if you look, there's
Same
a doji,
thing.
right? Doji.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 dojis. So you got a box in here, man. So as I'm watching this now, look at the configuration of the movement. That's 5, 10, 20, right?
Yeah.
So this is a stage 4 decline happening.
Because at the very top, it built its stage 3 box. And that's the thing with day trading is those boxes don't have to be very long. You know, sometimes it might even just be 1 candle, 2 candles.
Right. So the concept of the box can be built much faster than, okay.
I mean, but in terms of what you're looking for, it's just the same thing. You know, the exact same, you know, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, you know, but just you have that in the back of your mind when you're trading, you know, like that. Let's see, at the very top, that was what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars. So, yeah, and sometimes it won't even give you that, you know, I mean, depending on what you're trading, of course.
And this is the fractal nature of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's running right now. So if you click sell, you're going to get $104,377 for your thing. Hey, you should have waited a minute. You'd have got more.
Right. Should have just printed what, 1, 2 dojis?
So that's a doji, possible doji. This would be our anchor point.
Yep.
It's where there was a couple. It stopped right where this other doji stopped.
Yeah.
Now,
So if you extended that line further to the right, it would have been, you know, came right back into that same area. Yep. And then now we're going higher.
That's
For the moment, at least.
2 fucking dojis.
Well, that's what I was going
I've been
back
writing
and
a doji
looking at
thing.
them, especially at extremes. And then turn around, either direction. You know, doji at an extreme, turn around. You know, it's like, wow, that's amazing.
Look at this. So we'd already be in on this. If I'm day trading this, I'm in over here at I'm at 412 easily.
I was going to say, realistically, if I was day trading, I would have gotten in as it broke the high of both of those 2 dojis. And that's probably aggressive, but my thought process behind that was always, you know, if it were to keep going and blow through that most recent high, I mean, you knock your risk to reward out of the park. You know, worst case scenario, it goes against you and you get out, you know, which you were going to get out of the position eventually anyway, regardless, you know, whether it was a win or a loss. So I don't. That's what has let me catch some real big moves. Shoot, one of the last lives we did, I think I caught like a $2,500 move day trading on Bitcoin.
Did you know?
Yeah, I think it was like from, shoot, I'll have to go back. It was in early April, April 2nd, April 3rd, maybe. I'll have to go back and watch it. But yeah, it was a big one.
I wear leather Gucci jackets like it's still the 80s. I've been blowing OG Kush. I feel sedated. That's a great song. We were playing that Black Beatles before we came on.
It is a good song. I forgot about that one. I hadn't heard it in such a long time.
So this is going for the stage 2 breakout.
Yep.
Now, in my book, The Money Flow, if you don't have it, you should get it.
I do think you should buy it.
Let's see. Got Brandon here.
What's up, Brandon?
Chick named Jess.
What's up, Jess? How are you?
Sona.
Would you say some chick named Jess? What's up, Sona?
I'm teasing.
No, you can't do her like that, man.
Let's see. She's my partner. She knows that.
My stock charts candles are wanting to change colors every time I go to a different chart. Why is that? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Look at that move.
Jess should join us on the show.
I mean, she might, and then you roasted her. Some chick named Jess. Come on, man.
Let's see. Where were we looking at? Trying to find this article. Bitcoin price inches closer to new all-time high as ETH, Doge, Pepe, and Atom rally. I don't really care about those. Bitcoin rallied within 5% of its previous all-time high. Bulls expect the level to be conquered this week. I would expect so, right?
Yeah. Bitcoin
holds on to its recent gains, increasing the possibility of a retest of the all-time high. Okay, here's what we're talking about. 109,588. Now, if we take that on a daily, on a daily, $109,340. And what did they say?
588.
588. So it's only a 200 price difference.
Yeah, I was going through too, and I even pulled up TradingView, and it's its same thing, couple $100 difference. I don't know why. So silly to me.
BlackRock spot ETF records 19 days of excessive inflows, showing solid demand. 19 days, huh?
Yeah, that's a pretty good run. That's basically what, an entire trading month?
So right down about here.
So basically where I got my swing trade.
Right. So that's why we have a run. People ask me sometimes, why did it go up? Why did it go down? I go, people bought it.
Right.
And people sold it. And let's see. The money flow hasn't hit. The money flow indicator has not hit yet, but it's in the high zone.
Have a good one, Jess.
Let's see. Somebody says Trump is moving along with tariff deals too, and YK marks some low tariffs. All right, this money flow indicator, if you put it on stock charts, MFI, it's the money flow indicator. This thing is a pretty good, it's a pretty goddamn good indicator.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite indicators that you recommended. Because I mean, before I talked to you, I'd never even heard of it.
All right, so it's Bitcoin on daily. Now, I think that if you just look at the indicator itself, that spread, the price range is not that 82 to 97. I guess that is pretty wide. But then what we can add to it is anchor points and shit like that.
Yeah.
We can use let me play this for a second. I mean, it does a pretty good job at nailing the highs, lows, and the bottoms, And so, as I look at it, I want to lay that over the 4 stages of price movement and connect it to whatever time frame we're talking about trading.
Yeah, and use it as another level of confluence.
Let me see. Yeah, it'll probably look confusing. Do you see the Coinbase platform here?
Yeah.
Right. And so we're up $327 on these 3 contracts. I sure wish I'd have kept more. I didn't quite expect it to run this fast.
Did you originally have more?
I had like 10 or 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I've been trimming it down,
Yeah.
So it's been a nice run.
Oh, for sure. It's been beautiful.
This I should have put more on up here. But you only got so much money in the account, and I put on some trades in oil and silver. Wadanu says market is pumping. Glad to be back in after Liberation Day. Tomorrow should be nice.
We will see what happens.
Let's see. Man. Now, anything on your mind there? So we're playing it through futures. Swing trading it, right, is pretty much what I'm kind of doing there.
Yeah.
And primarily, I'm using my main is the 30-minute chart. And it doesn't look as, we were kind of in this channel here. We were talking about that earlier, but if you back it up and you look at it from a bigger time frame, we just kind of digesting this big move we've had. If you back all the way up to the daily.
I mean, because shoot, it moved 10% last week.
Right.
And 25% over the last, call it month.
Yeah. So I'm in the smallest size of my position right now. I have way more down here.
Yeah.
Now, if we break through this overhead here, I mean, shit, maybe we got something, I'll load back up, I guess.
Yeah, I think they're I mean,
Bitcoin Cash. I mean, Bitcoin Cash. I started putting shit on. You can trade futures for Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah.
You can also just buy the coins. And I'm sure there's other places you can trade it leverage, but it's gone from 300 a coin to at one point it was $450. That's $150 run on a coin. That's 50% of the goddamn coin price,
right.
of what it was in the beginning.
Yeah, it shouldn't be overlooked for sure. What is going on with my...
Sorry.
No, it's all good. My stock charts is giving me a hell of a time over here.
But I mean, I now officially have more Bitcoin Cash than I have Bitcoin.
Oh, do you really?
But they run so together,
Yeah.
Now, do I trust it as much? It's been here since it started. I mean, there's people that don't like it. It's basically a fork of Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
The code is the same. And why you can send it free, I don't know. Like how do the miners make money? Or is Cash App absorbing that,
That'd be an interesting question to ask somebody that works there.
Right. But I don't know why everyone wouldn't use it. And if you're going to be spending money like all those people talking about standing in line, and why wouldn't everyone trade this? It's only $300 to $400 a coin. It's been as high as 7,000 a coin.
Right. Why would you not?
Yeah. So
I mean, even for a little money, isn't it?
I buy some every day and I buy some Bitcoin every day, but those are little drips that I was telling you about, little $10 drips to Cash App you could do it on Venmo. I wouldn't do it on PayPal, but you could do it at Cash App. So I do all of those little trips, but then trading, like we're talking about here, I've kind of moved most of my trading to swing trading shit to futures.
Yeah, Coinbase has a really nice futures platform.
Just because you can trade it at night. You can trade Bitcoin in the stock market, but you're going to be limited on the hours,
Well, and Coinbase just announced for futures for both Bitcoin and Ethereum, you can start trading 24/7. So that's huge. So then you're more aligned with the spot price, which does run 24/7.
Man. Stage 2 uptrend to be back on track. 108K is the next target. That's what I have. That's where I'm going to look at selling some of mine here. I hate to sell down to where I don't have a position, but I would do that for a few hours.
Yeah. I mean,
I've done that perfect sometimes where I hit it, boom, dude, it starts to come down, and then you catch it and you're like, what's up, man?
Right.
That doesn't, you're in flow then. And
absolutely.
I don't know that you can stay that tight with it, but if you're there and it's happening, you can leverage yourself, make a lot of money.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's one of the things we've been talking about is different ways of leveraging it to take bigger moves. In your mind, does that get trickier the higher the price climbs if we get into all-time highs? Or in your mind, does that mean this thing runs to 250?
I mean, you could argue both trains of thought, I mean, as far as I think you just got to ride the wave, and take it wherever, I mean, if all the fundamentals and the only thing you're missing is like a price to the left, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't take advantage, because I mean, you could, if you sat out, and say it broke through its all-time high this week and went on to $120, 30, 50, 200, hypothetically, I mean, part of you's going to wish you just would have, stuck with it.
I mean,
so, and I also too feel like I'm not in a position to speculate on, its price, because there's people a lot smarter than I am, but at the end of the day, nobody knows.
Right.
Nobody. I mean, if you would have told people 10 years ago that Bitcoin was going to be worth, $105,000 in 2025. They never would have believed you, you know? AKA COVID 2.0 to them.
What's up with the man? I hope they don't want to bring that back.
No.
But look at this is a monthly chart. Look at the enormous size of this stage 2 on this monthly. It's big.
Yep.
And this one, it's pretty big. This one has been the smallest so far. So, I mean, I feel like we run further. I know that's not science.
Well, I mean, because each one of those legs higher on the monthlies, 2
Like right
years?
now, we're
3
just
years?
we are hitting a 69 RSI on a monthly chart. 67 on the money flow. So that means there's room to the upside, you know?
And then how hot did it run?
Yeah, it's run where up into fucking 90. And that would make this run about the size of these runs, you know?
Yeah.
Is how I'm looking at it. Like, I'm just picturing what the rest of the other indicators would look like if it ran further. And it would look like these over here.
Yeah.
And this would be, you know, but we've had a little double and a pullback. That hasn't really happened. It kind of did here. You know?
Yeah.
You had a little pullback, like over here, a little pullback, but this pullback's higher, but that makes sense if we're going higher. That's just looking at charts, you know, and also kind of probably a little bit hoping it goes up. I mean, it's hard. Although we can trade it from the other side and we can hedge ourselves, right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
So
that's one of the beautiful things about being able to trade futures, you know. I mean, you can use it as a way to make money, or B, just as a hedge, you know, on your overall position. And I think when you go into it knowing that, or you discover that you can do that, I think it becomes, I mean, not only Bitcoin, but things with the overall market in general, you know, that there is ways to protect yourself, you know. I think it becomes a little less scary.
Let's see. I don't know if you've seen them.
To a slow start are now in what's being called the Great Wealth Transfer. Millennials who got off to a slow start are now expected to become the richest generation in history, thanks to the nearly $124 trillion in assets that they're expected to inherit over the next 20 years from their baby boomer parents and grandparents. In The Missing Billionaires by Hagani and White, they tell the story of Cornelius Vanderbilt, who died in 1877, leaving his oldest son the largest fortune in the world at the time, more than $100 million. Despite the huge returns available to investors between then and now, just 70 years later, the entire Vanderbilt family wealth was gone. No Vanderbilt descendant today can trace their wealth back to the huge fortune Cornelius accumulated during his life. The huge spending and bad investment decisions of the Vanderbilt heirs wiped out the entire fortune. It brings to mind the famous W.C. Fields quote where he said, "I spent half of my money on gambling, alcohol, and wild women. The other half I wasted." When we look at a list of the wealthiest Americans today, the top 10 all made their money through business, not from inheritance. It's not until we get to number 11 on the list that we see the Walton family, the heirs to the Walmart fortune. According to UBS, 84 people became billionaires for the first time in 2023 through the businesses they built up, and 53 became billionaires through inheritance. So business success is still the most sure path to wealth. Inheritance, however, has become a more important source of wealth in recent years than it was 50 years ago, but it's still less important today than it was in 1900. Research from The Economist shows that inheritance as a source of wealth in advanced economies, when measured as a percentage of GDP, has roughly doubled since the mid-20th century, but it's still around half what it was in 1900. There are a number of factors that have driven this change, such as the size of the aging baby boomer generation, the unusual level of economic success that they've had over their lives, and the rise in real estate prices, which began growing faster than inflation in the 1960s. The Economist points out that governments publish very little data on the size of inheritances, so they did their own research on annual inheritance flows for a range of countries. They found that in advanced economies, inheritances were worth over 20% of GDP in 1900, as people passed on vast stock portfolios and estates. The value of inheritances collapsed in the wake of two world wars, hitting a low of around 5% of GDP in the United States by the late 1970s, before bouncing back. By the end of the 2010s, inheritances were worth, on average, 10% of GDP. This year, according to their calculations, people across the rich world will inherit around $6 trillion. Inheritances collapsed after the two world wars, as a lot of wealth was tied up in European real estate, which was destroyed during the war.
It's interesting. I'm going to put it down in the show notes. That guy used to run a hedge fund, or he may still run it, man. There's a lot of, I mean, we're just now getting where Bitcoin's starting to be inherited. There's people going to inherit the Vossel, the twins, and there's a lot of people now, older people that have a lot of Bitcoin. So, I mean, everything, crypto, stocks, it's going to be a lot of people inheriting a lot of shit going here as we go forward.
Man, you can see it. My grandma left me 1,500 Bitcoin. Well, what's one Bitcoin worth? 200,000.
Okay, huh?
Well, we're rich, huh? That's crazy to think about, isn't it?
Well, now I wouldn't say that people inherit money don't know how to use it. Depends. What if you're, what if you've been preparing for it? If you're in the money flow gang and you inherit money, you know what to do with it.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think it just depends on the person inheriting it. Shit, throw me $1 billion. I'm going to do the same thing. Like, I'm going to start putting it to work. I'm going to buy Bitcoin. I'm pushing it in the fucking real estate market. I'm going to buy stocks.
Would you say that, but your average Joe?
No, the average guy would probably spend a bunch of it on buy a new truck, go on a trip, fucking buy some. Yeah, that's what the average person would do with it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There's a video out there by that doctor or whatever, and he talks about, if you ask the average person if they won $10 million, what would they do? He's like, first 2 to 8 million of it would be spent just telling you their wish list,
Oh, for sure. If not more.
Yeah. My buddy, we were at a thing, and he's like, that one lottery got to like $1 billion, and New Orleans was part of that,
Mm-hmm.
And they bought tickets. I don't buy tickets. And let me take this back down to a fit. 1 minute. So look what our run did. Man.
Yep.
Oh, shit. Here's the actual one we were at. So that was our anchor point. Remember, 104.35? We talked about we would jump in above those two dojis.
Look at that move.
Boom. Now, the whole time, as long as that moving average configuration stays where the 5 is above the 10, the 10 is above the 20, it's in an uptrend.
Yep. Stay in it.
Just stay in it. These really, they're oscillators, the RSI and the money flow. And if you're trading tight, if I was day trading, I would have took some down here. If I'm trading on a 1 minute, and then I would definitely don't take it all down, because we still got another RSI to go. And then
for sure.
I've been using the money flow indicator more in day trading, as far as like, if that starts banging, your top is coming,
Yeah.
And so now, if we were day trading, I'm sure I would be out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I would have got out on this bar. And you can day trade Bitcoin. I don't have a platform that makes it really doable right now.
Yeah, we're still working on that.
They're not available in like Texas, Louisiana, like BitX. I think his leverage 50 to 1.
That's a whole lot of leverage.
Yeah, you better get the moves right, right?
Oh, for sure. Leverage yourself to zero pretty quick. I mean, if you
Now,
don't
the
know
cool,
what you're doing, of course.
you know, what I day trade NVIDIA is the one I've been doing. And I don't know, I'm up 3 or 4 grand since that whole DeepSeek thing.
Yeah.
I had a period where I gave some back, or would be more like 5. And then now I'm back on the winning side again. And, you know, I was just doing TQQQ. And I might go back to that. But man, after trading that one so long, the movements are much faster. So, you know, and I traded in my margin account. So I traded in my second income stream account, you know?
Yeah.
And margin had gotten much tighter because of the pullback. So I wasn't able to trade much. So trading the TQQ wouldn't have been very lucrative.
Yeah, for
So I
sure.
dropped down to either NVIDIA or like Tesla just because they move so much.
Yeah, Tesla's a mover, all right.
You get blown out in Tesla.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
Tesla's burned me, that's for sure. And especially you pair that with oh shit, you pair that with options, man, and you'll leverage yourself to zero pretty quick. But yeah, 50 to 1 leverage, that's insane. And you said that was BitX? I feel like you're telling me about a new
yeah, BitX. They've been around for a minute, but maybe. I think that depends, man. There are smart families out there. The Rockefellers have been pretty smart with all their wealth and created a trust, and they've done a bunch of shit, man. But yeah, I don't think because someone is poor they have a better chance of managing money. I think it's just up to the person, you know.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's up to the person.
I mean, but you got to think about it too. Like if you walked up to the average Joe and said, if I gave you $100, what would you do with it? You know, and their first response is buy, you know, X or Y or Z. I mean, if you give them 100 grand, you know, 500 grand, whatever, it's just going to be whatever they said they were going to buy with 100 multiplied by, you know, 50 or 100x. The purchases are just going to be that much bigger, that much more expensive, you know, whereas like somebody in the money flow gets a chunk of money, they're like, whew, man.
Yeah, they're going to know what to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, especially because you could take that money and generate cash flow. I mean, depending on when you got the money, as early as the same week, you know, and that's crazy.
Yeah. So I was going to show too, and then we can kind of get to it. Let me get logged in. Another way you can play Bitcoin. Now we're in a full-blown stage 4 decline, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so we kind of played this right. And right there's a doji right at the top, man. We didn't get into all that, but
I was gonna say Doji built a small box and then broke below the 5, the 10, the 20.
If you look at Bitto tracks the price of Bitcoin pretty close. But the current dividend yield on Bitto, there it is. Current dividend yield on Bitto is what, 49%, 47%, something like that?
It is, let me confirm just so I don't. They're saying 58.21%.
Right. Hold on. So I own most of mine in M1 Finance. Bitto ProShares Bitcoin ETF. And it's actually come down a little bit. It has paid more, but $316, actually $317.05 for the month.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's
Just
not
rolling
bad.
it.
Let's see what size of it. The position size is $12,682. So if that was $120,000, that would have been what, 3,000 something.
Yeah.
Right. So if
Not
you
too
believe in
bad.
Bitcoin, why wouldn't you own this?
Right.
So now you're
Because
getting
like you
paid
said,
to
you get
own
the
Bitcoin.
upside appreciation of Bitcoin
Yeah.
followed
And
up
you
with
can
a nasty dividend.
and you can leverage against this.
Yeah.
So you go and borrow against this to buy more of this. Or to just go buy a car. That would be how you take your money out. See? You take a loan is not income. So you take a loan out of Bitto, you take that to your checking account and you go do shit. And as Bitto pays its dividend, you pay back your loan. You still own your Bitto, you're still getting payments, and you got that money and you didn't pay taxes on it.
Yeah, you can't
Bam. What's that?
I said you can't beat it.
Bam. Man, people don't think of these things
No.
because they're buying $100 worth. But if you're buying $100,000 worth, your dividend is going to be like 30 or 40 fucking grand a year. So your dividend is going to be like 4,000 to 5,000 a month. So you could turn right around and borrow that money out and let that dividend every month pay off that fucking thing.
That's awesome.
Or you could turn around, buy more of that and make the dividend much larger. And then immediately just start paying it back if you wanted. I mean, I probably do I just take the cash, man. I'm not in a big hurry to pay it back because you're only paying interest.
Yeah.
So to me, it would depend on what stage we're in. If we're running and I can't add to Bitcoin, in my mind, I like to pay down the loan.
Gotcha.
If I have money, if I have money, especially if it's coming from the asset itself, we can knock that out. Why? Because
if you got the
next time it comes down.
Yeah, if you got the dividend when it was like in a stage 4, you just keep it as cash and then redeploy it when
Right.
stage 1 was formed.
We're keeping the asset.
Yeah.
So I'm not selling shares of Bitto. I'm maneuvering around its margin.
Yeah.
And I'm letting either new money, my money, or Bitto's money take it down. We can add it on, take it down, add it on. The only time you get into trouble on that is if you get over leveraged.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Then you're not flexible. So if you get your timing off, you can, you might have to. But if you got fat dividends, what I started doing on this one, I just started immediately paying back the loan, So like on that, I think you asked me on that 225 went to pay down some margin debt, which increased my margin availability, right?
Right. Yeah, of course.
Boom. And I took the other part and I bought more of, I think I added to bonds.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not going to sell those shares. So that's just using that asset and trying to grow the base out, and it's leveraged, but that's higher level stuff, right?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely not a day one concept.
Yeah, that's not trading on the buying an ETF.
No.
Or just buying an ETF and that's it. Bitcoin made a decisive move above the psychological crucial level of 100,000 level during the week, signaling that the bulls are back in the game. Buyers are trying to hold on to the 10% weekly gains over the weekend. Pretty much everyone that owns Bitcoin is profitable right now.
Yeah.
Every person in the world who's ever bought Bitcoin from a few days ago is profitable. That's amazing.
It's insane.
Yeah, man.
It really doesn't make sense when you think about it. Like, it's
really
almost
does.
like how is that possible?
Yeah. I mean, there's probably one dude out there. He's like down 12 cents or something. Like he just named it.
Right.
So, yeah, man, I think we went through a lot of things there, similar as last time where we talked about time continuity, the different ways of owning. I'm going to put that link to that. I think that thing is interesting, of that one guy talking about the wealth transfer that's happening right now.
Yeah, I'd like to watch that.
And, we explain to people how we're different ways that we're playing it, from swing trading it to buy and holding. I have a daily drip. That's just me storing money. That's just like putting a $10 bill here, a $10 bill here, a $10 bill here, except these $10 bills double and they go up about 90% a year. And if you stored those in Bitto, you can now borrow against it and get a 50% dividend yield, or don't. Just don't learn, don't bother.
I mean, but you should learn and you should bother.
The more broke you are, the more you should study the fuck out of this.
Yeah.
I meet guys, they don't have any money. I'm like, bro, if I'm you and I'm putting all my money into this right here, Bitto and CLN, putting them in margins thing. I'm going to put every fucking penny in and I'm going to borrow this shit of every dollar I can borrow. And I'm going to load that shit up and learn and manage it and figure out how to hedge it because you have no other options.
No.
Because what I just showed you is doable.
Oh, for sure.
With not that much money, probably about the amount you're going to spend smoking and drinking and partying and doing nothing over the next 2 years anyway, I could set you free. And then they'll still be like, man, I don't know. That sounds weird. Hold on.
Because you know that's exactly how it goes.
Yeah, hold on. I got to call my buddy. We got a spoon.
In the garage.
In the garage. We're going spooning.
Oh my God.
Dude, you should calm down, man. Let's talk about that next week, bro. Not right now. Not on a Friday, man. Calm down, bro.
Right.
Don't you enjoy life? And I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to show you how to have an actual free life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what we're trying to do here, man. Help people get. If you're not in Bitcoin, you should get in Bitcoin. We can show you how. And different ways of playing it, man. Just start hanging out with us, right?
Oh, absolutely. There's seems like 1,000,001 ways to play it, and we're finding a new one, seemingly every week.
Yeah, the dividend one's been awesome.
Oh yeah.
I wish I'd have borrowed and put a lot more in that. It would have done a lot of things. I should have borrowed. If I'd have put $100,000 in there, I'd be sitting on $500,000, making like 25,000, 30,000 a month right now. But I didn't.
Right.
I didn't. Just like half the people watching right now, they're not going to. They're not going to put any effort or extra or try to get more to put in. That's what's going to happen.
I mean, but if they did, they would see results.
They did. I'm getting reminded that lesson all the time. So I've been trading almost 20 years. When I roll up on this and catch it at the Bitcoin low, and still I don't go big.
Yeah.
So just 2023 of Christmas, I could have gotten rich, and I know how to do it. And I have the accounts and the fucking money. Still didn't execute there the way I should have. And I say this all the time, it's all around us. You only got to catch 2 or 3 of these in a row to change your life, man. I mean, you take 10 to 120 and then 120 to $250,000, that changes. And you put that in your assist account. Now you're making $15,000 a month in dividends. Most people could just do money to game. Yeah. It's that easy.
Crazy.
A 10,000 trade in 10Xs, and then you catch one. It doesn't even have to 10X. Drop it in the assist, start back over on your trading.
But then do it again.
You say, well, why would you want to do that? Because we're locking in a monthly income here. We're going to lock in 8,000, 9,000 a month. Boom. And then you get that money. We go back to trading, right? We just,
Yeah. Well, and then that way you're not reliant on your trading skills or your
Right.
trading performance, I should say, for that month to pay your bills or whatever. It's like, cool, yeah, you did it, but yeah, like you said, lock in an income. And an income that is very scalable as well. I think that's worth mentioning.
Yeah, well, it's easier in the beginning.
Yeah.
What's hard is here's what I put. The people that struggle is when you drop a big lump sum and then you're not adding any more. And then you kind of max out your margin.
Gotcha.
If you're getting to a point where you're not going to add, you have to scale back.
Gotcha.
If you're smaller, I would run the shit out of it. And I'd be putting money, running shit out of it, put money in. I'm trying to get it. And I need these pullbacks. You put $1 million in and we go borrow 2, you might have a fucking problem. Like,
yeah.
So, as you get to the number, you're going to get to a place where you want to scale it back, but hopefully your trading skills will improve too. And you can generate money other ways, Like I don't just have an E-Trade. I also have an M1, right?
Yeah.
And so you'll be able to spread out. You'll be able to add new accounts. You'll have, $1 million in this one.
I mean, I damn near have an account for any given thing. I have the second income stream account, my buy and hold account through both M1 and E-Trade. And then I have my day trade account, and then you have the crypto account. So I don't know, when you can break it up like that. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, right. So it had dropped. I think at one point I was down almost $400,000, dude.
Wow.
yeah, that most people go to panicking, I'm sure. It doesn't feel good, but I'm not going to panic. But this is across 7 accounts. You know, and I didn't start them all the same day. You know, I'm doing, and they're all, some of them are, they're doing different things. You know, I have some tax sheltered, some are not. You know, some are, well, here, let me go. You know, if you look at them, like that small, that's a trading account. I just took a bunch of money out of it. And so this thing will be loaded up, back down, loaded up, back down. Sometimes it'll transfer it over here. That's just a cash trading account. You want to have one of those. And then I'll have, this is a SEP IRA, and then an IRA, an M1 finance account. And, you know, here's, then there's margin accounts. And so as time goes on, you're going to spread out. You know, it doesn't seem that way in the beginning. Some people act like having 2 accounts. Like, oh, how will I ever track them? I'm like, bro, total, I got 28 insurance policies. I own 17 properties, 3 houses for myself, 7 trading accounts. Like, you might have more than 1 credit card.
Right.
Like this, yeah, like this is that you're going to want to have more than 1 credit card. What if their credit system goes down and you need to use it? You know, and then those things become, credit cards become tracking devices, you know. Gotcha. I only use this card at Home Depot. I only use this card for my trading subscriptions, because I have like $4,000 in subscriptions probably.
Oh wow.
Podcasting, live streaming, CNBC, different newsletters, fucking Barron's, you know, all these different things for me to do what I do.
Yeah.
You know, like podcasting in the right way is not free. People think it is. It's not.
Oh, I would imagine.
Yeah. So I pay money to publish the Peters Report, and yet I give it away free.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that.
No, it costs like $2,000 a month to do the Joe Peters show.
Oh wow. I
Of,
didn't know it was that much.
yeah. Between everything that we pay for, you know, that I need to do things, you know.
Yeah.
Some of that includes equipment and this and that, but it comes out to about 20, not that much. And that's just you producing. Nobody's paying you anything.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, then you got to give them a reason. Obviously, other people have our money, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So that's what we try to do here, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no problem, GP. I appreciate you having me.
Let's look and see where we're at here. 104,191, man. Hell yeah.
Why I cannot get my stock charts is giving me a fit today.
Sometimes you got to turn it off and then back on.
Real estate developers in New York City, they're not buying the real estate because they want to live in it.
But like most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit.
People that use fiat currency
Never gets old.
as a store of
No, it doesn't.
value, we call them poor.
We call them poor.
We call them poor. People that use